An Uber driver says he was fired because he joined a peaceful protest.
Xbox, Twitter, Uber, Postmates, Netflix, MoviePass, Google, Facebook, eBay,
DoorDash,
Apple, Amazon, Airbnb,
The Apptrepreneur. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur. If this is your first time here and you happen to like this video, please do me a favor. Click that subscribe button, ring that bell notification. We upload videos on a near daily basis and you will want to be notified when those videos go up. And also we do like live streams. We talk about the gig economy, delivery, video games, Netflix, Disney Plus, streaming wars, all that jazz, even apps I love sometimes. So anyway, let's talk about Uber in this one. And one of the things that my channel was built on was I talked about drivers. When I first started doing this, I was an Uber driver. I admittingly don't drive anymore. I have always been very upfront about that. I have told people I am kind of moved into a managerial position, whereas kind of like how Charles Barkley used to play basketball, now he's on ESPN. I used to drive for Uber, now I'm the CNN. Ryders Peterson said I was the CNN of rideshare. I don't know if that's true or not anymore. Maybe I'm Fox News because there's Dustin out there. But anyway, boy, he got 2 references in one day. When are you going to respond to that, Dustin? When are you going to... Anyway, I'm kidding. But anyway, so I take these stories very personally. And there was a time when, even though you were an independent contractor, if you spoke out against Uber, they would deactivate you. If you said something on Twitter or Facebook and they found it and they found that you were an Uber driver, they would deactivate you. It was actually news for a little while. And then Uber realized that they couldn't make the honest claim that you are an independent contractor if they were silencing you for an opinion. However, according to at least one driver, the practice of deactivating people who oppose your company is still very much alive. However, before we continue with the story, let me take a moment to tell you about our sponsor, gigworker.com. Gigworker.com is taking a survey right now for the news media outlets. They take surveys from drivers and they are sharing information with Vice and Vox, big news publications, and they need your help. They need you as an active Uber driver to share what it's like to be driving for Uber in the year 2019. So here's what's going to happen, folks. I have left a link below, and all you have to do is click on that link, fill out the survey, share a screenshot of your last week driving for Uber, and give a valid PayPal email address so that you can get paid, and they will give you $5 for this 5 to 6 minute survey. You can only take it once, by the way, but it's an easy $5. So yeah, if you currently actively driving for Uber, just takes a couple minutes. Click that link below. Trust me, it'll be well worth your time. And now that you've done that, let's talk about the story from Bloomberg. Uber driver says he was fired after being in protest photo. Former Uber Technologies Inc. driver Ahmed Youssef, I believe I pronounced that correctly. If I didn't, I am so sorry, Ahmed. Claims he was fired for participating in a peaceful protest against the company. In a lawsuit filed Wednesday in Illinois federal court, Youssef says he faced retaliation after participating in an October 2018 protest urging Uber and rival rideshare company Lyft Inc. to limit the number of their drivers on the road. Youssef was captured in a Chicago Tribune photograph holding a sign that said, "Lyft/Uber respect Chicago drivers." Sorry. I took the mouse. Okay, sorry folks about that. 2 months later, Yasuf claims he was deactivated as a driver for the standard Uber X service. 6 months later, he bought a $75,000 Lincoln Navigator. Yusuf says he was deactivated from the luxury Uber Black service. Now, I am going to pause for a moment because this is the one part about the story that's honestly a little fishy. I am not aware that Uber deactivates by how should I put this? Luxury on Uber. I have not heard of anyone who is like, I've been deactivated from Uber X, but not Uber Lux. Or I've been deactivated from Uber Black, but not Uber X. Well, maybe that one's a little bit more common because maybe your car no longer meets the Uber Black standards. But it seems, it's a little weird. I'm just going to say it right now. It's a little weird. So, hey, if it turns out this guy is lying in the long run, hey, I'm just reporting what it says in the news. All right? I mean, And this is why we've worded it, he's claimed he was fired. But there is something fishy about the story, and it has to be acknowledged. And by the way, if it is true, I will say, I would probably not spend $75,000 on a Lincoln Navigator after having one of my Uber options basically removed from me. Because like at that point, you can't trust Uber's going to keep you around. You just can't trust it. So I don't know what this guy's thinking. But anyway, Yusuf was terminated from Uber solely based on his participation in the peaceful protest pursuant to his First Amendment right as a private citizen, the lawsuit said. Uber declined to comment. Yusuf said in his lawsuit that Uber said it was deactivating him for, among other transgressions, creating duplicate accounts, accepting trips without intending to complete them, and claiming false fees or charges. Now, what's interesting about that is that's actually unusually specific. Like, most of the time you'll get a generic email and say that, due to your driver performance or your star grade or multiple complaints from users, we are deactivating your account. They actually rarely mention specific things because that's private. They don't need to do that. But they have in this case, and that's probably because an actual lawsuit was brought against them. But who knows? Maybe Uber's lying, because it could be he's being completely honest and Uber is just, creating some, I don't know. Unfortunately, this deactivation is permanent and irreversible, Uber told Yusuf, according to the lawsuit. Okay. So you know what? One of the nice things about, I know I said that I would typically read articles before I comment on them. This one I didn't. And one of the positive things I see to that is, now that I'm reading it, now that I'm voicing it out loud, I am going to go on a limb, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't think this guy was deactivated for protesting Uber. I don't think he was. It's not a compelling enough story. If this were the case, you'd think Uber would have deactivated him the day that the story broke, not 6 months later. It is also strange that he was deactivated as a driver for the standard Uber X service, but not the black service. I don't drive black, so maybe it doesn't even work this way. I could kind of see, though, if you are driving a luxury Uber, maybe they might remove you from that part of the platform if, like, say, your star grade went below a certain amount, maybe the car quality issues kept coming up, maybe your car expired, I don't know. I've never heard of a situation where you were deactivated from the X part of the platform, but not the higher ups. Because X is pretty much as low as you go outside of pool. Pool's the lowest you can go on this platform. And after he was deactivated from one part, which clearly shows that this is not a stable platform and maybe he doesn't want to put his eggs in the basket, he buys a $75,000 Lincoln Navigator. Yeah, you know what? Every Uber driver who's smart, every single one of them, if you don't do this, you're probably not as smart driving for Uber as you think you are. You never, ever buy a new vehicle just to drive for Uber and Lyft. If you do that, it is either extreme foolishness, extreme stupidity, or extreme ignorance. You cannot depend on Uber and Lyft for a living. So never, ever, ever, ever do this. And he should not have done this, especially after being allegedly deactivated from other services. So, look, I have no proof one way or the other. Maybe he's telling the truth. And if more of this comes out, I would like to hear what that is. I would like to hear how this case goes. But honestly, it sounds like, and again, because Uber was very specific in the email. Like, they didn't send one of the super generic emails. They actually highlighted problems. So, I think this guy was probably legitimately deactivated. And he probably bought the car a few months later so he could have the basis for a lawsuit. Now then, I will say, if it turns out he is telling the truth, and they only deactivated him from the X platform, so he decided, well, I'm still on Black, so I guess I'm going to buy a new vehicle so I can drive for Black, which does not benefit Uber at all, by the way. Uber Black is not nearly as popular as X, and they're not getting royalties from the car that's being sold or anything, so they're not getting commission of that. So, but if that is what happened, I would be very curious to find out what Uber's thinking was in that deal. However, I don't think this is true. So, yeah. Here I was prepared to defend another driver, and this just ends up looking pretty fishy in the long run. So, but what about you? Maybe all of you feel a little differently. I would love to know what those thoughts are, whether you agree with me, you agree with him. What is your thinking about this? I'd love to know. Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, of course, but even as little as $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly, and you'll get access to my private Discord server. If gas prices are getting just a little down, check out the Get Upside app below. It's totally free, but you get cash back on every gas purchase. If you want more content from me, check me out, Kevin T. Rodriguez, The Autograph Hound, and Apptrepreneur Hangout. Apptrepreneur Vlogs, I'm sorry. If you want to talk to me or other fellow Uber drivers on Facebook, check us out, the Apptrepreneur Hangouts on Facebook. And as always, blame responsibly. Have a good one.